the CEO at Iris Development LLC, and owner and developer of the Dewdrop Inn in New Orleans, Curtis Doucette.
Meet your fine gal, buddies and your pals. Down in New Orleans on the street they call it Santa at the Dewdrop Inn. You meet all your fine friends.
I'm trying to figure out why I have the sudden urge to say welcome to my TED Talk. As they mentioned, my name is Curtis Doucette. I'm the owner and the developer of the Dewdrop Inn in New Orleans. The Dewdrop Inn is a special place that was founded in 1939 by a gentleman named Frank Panier. Frank started off as a barber, but the Dewdrop Inn grew to become a nightclub that featured live music, a restaurant, a bar, and it remained a barber shop throughout the rest of Frank's life. The Dewdrop Inn is particularly special because its heyday was in the 1950s and the 1960s. During that time, of course, segregation was at its peak, and the Dewdrop Inn served a very important purpose. The Dewdrop Inn was listed in the Green Book. It was a stop on the Chitlin Circuit. But a lot of people know it because of the artists who graced the stage of the Dewdrop Inn. There were people like James Brown who performed at the Dewdrop Inn. People like Little Richard, folks like Ray Charles, Tina Turner. All of these people graced the stage of the Dewdrop Inn. Even people like Duke Ellington hung out there. It was really the coolest spot. But beyond that, we also had a role in musical evolution. You see, the first rock and roll song in history, at least the first one to record or to sell over 1 million records, was The Fat Man by Fats Domino. That song was written by our band leader, Dave Bartholomew. I mentioned Little Richard earlier. You see, I like to say that Little Richard would not be the Little Richard that we know if it weren't for things that happened right there at the Dewdrop Inn. I'll give you an example. Little Richard was in New Orleans to record, as musicians often did back in the 1950s. And they were trying to get him to sound like Nat King Cole or somebody like that. And that's clearly not his style. That didn't work out. So after a lackluster recording session, they all stopped by the Dewdrop Inn, as people did. Little Richard saw a stage and an audience, and that's all he needed. He jumped on the piano and belted out. Let me just warn you, brace yourself. Wop bop a loo bop a lop bam boom. Tutti fruity, good booty. Greasy, make it easy. If it don't fit, don't force it. Those were the original lyrics to the song. Well, the production team, they realized that they had a hit on their hands. All they had to do is make it squeaky clean for the radio. So they did. They changed the lyrics and recorded the song. Now that song became not only Little Richard's first big hit, but it is also another groundbreaking song on the road to musical evolution. So there's that importance at the Dewdrop Inn. We also have a very special civil rights history. Folks would get arrested a lot of times for coming to the Dewdrop Inn and race mixing. That was illegal in New Orleans. The Dewdrop Inn fought that. We had a special LGBTQ history that's celebrated even today. We had a special place in the 1950s in the South. Can you believe, in the South, in a black neighborhood, we were doing gay balls every Halloween. The Dewdrop Inn has always been a very special place. When the original owner died in 1972, the family took over, and the Dewdrop lost some of its magic. It just became pretty much a hotel. Hurricane Katrina hit, and at that point, the family didn't have the funds to maintain the insurance. And so that historic venue sat in a state of disrepair for almost 20 years. It was at that point that I decided that I wanted to take a swing at restoring it to its former glory. And that's where BlueHub comes in. Actually, the story of BlueHub starts a few years earlier with a no. So I went to BlueHub when I wanted to develop a 70-unit apartment complex with some commercial space, and we were looking for a partner lender to join our lenders that we already had in place. The loan officer quickly reviewed it and said, we can't do this deal at the moment. Now, here's the thing. As a developer, the best answer you could ever give me when I come to you for a loan is yes. The next best answer is a quick no. And because BlueHub did that, our relationship remained intact. So when it was time to come back for the Dewdrop Inn, and I needed a leverage lender to make the new market transaction work. Came back to BlueHub, and I got a quick yes. And from that moment, BlueHub acted like a partner every single day that they were in the deal. And for the board members and the CEO, that loan's paid off, okay? So now we're back doing all the things that we used to do. We've already had folks like Anderson Paak, DJ Questlove, grace our stage. We're up to our old tricks over at the Dewdrop Inn, and we thank BlueHub for that and all of our other lenders. And you see, you might think, and I don't think you would think that after hearing what the CEO had to say, but you might think that BlueHub is only active in places like Boston and the Northeast. But all over the country, BlueHub is doing this great work. I'm proof positive that they made their way all the way down to New Orleans. So I couldn't be happier to celebrate this 40th anniversary with you, and I look forward to another 40 years of great work from BlueHub. Thank you.